Hey everybody, what is up and welcome back to another anime review with the MKninja. I am so sorry it took this long. I don't know, it's just things have been happening and I haven't been getting to the animes that I wanted to, and I promise that the next one will not take 2 months. It'll probably just come out next month, depending on what I'm doing, because I still haven't really decided what I'm doing next. Anyway, back to the anime at hand. It's giving me flashbacks to 2015 when I got a whole bunch of requests for another anime. So yes, I'm finally reviewing Fully Cooley. I've had a lot of people tell me that I should see it since it's made by Gainax. If you didn't know, Gainax created my favorite anime, Gurren Lagann, and Trigger, the company that made Kill La Kill, is made of former Gainax employees, so we'll count that too. And Gainax has also made Panty and Stocking as well as Evangelion, so there's a lot of great stuff under their belt. So I thought, fuck it, I'll review it. So, time to do that. Onward to the review! Fully Cooley is only 6 episodes, but unlike Murder Princess, I'm not going to do a step-by-step in the first episode. Instead, I'll just go in-depth on my thoughts on the story, and that's pretty much how I'm going to do it for every other one, because I'm still kind of figuring out how I should run these full reviews, so yeah. Our story centers around Naota Nanbada. Not Nandaba. Nandaba. Okay. And he's an ordinary 6th grader. Now, usually ages in anime range from around high school level because they can connect with older audiences and younger audiences. So that means the industry is just obsessed with high school. But this one seems a bit lower than normal, but I'm still with it. Naota lives a pretty normal and very boring life until it's completely turned upside the head when he meets Haruko, with their first encounter being quite eventful. And by eventful, I mean she hits him with a goddamn Vespa. Needless to say, their first encounter is weird. And that's a good sum up for this show. It leaves him with a strange bump on his head, and later a robot pops out. What? And there's a fight. What? Can someone clue me in on what the fuck's happening here? And funny enough, that's not the only robot that pops out of his head. Again, weird. But the occurrences start getting crazier and crazier, leading up to the biggest of all, kind of. Now, it's not really leading up, as each episode doesn't really connect all too much to the previous one. It's just kind of crazy new stuff for the characters to do. Well, maybe that's a little harsh. There is loose connections, and there's definitely a plot, but it kind of feels like things just happen. It's a very loose plot. So, yeah. Honestly, I was confused a lot in this anime. It doesn't do the best job letting the audience know exactly what is happening. A lot of things just come running at you from left or right, and there are a lot of moments that don't really make much sense. And it just kind of happens and left me really confused, and I don't know. But it is still entertaining, so I can't harp on it too much. But from a storytelling perspective, there are still definitely some deep issues. The animation is pretty damn great. Usually something is happening. It's incredibly dynamic and insane, and there are so many great character expressions. It's awesome. I guess since it's only 6 episodes, there was more budget put into the animation, and it pays off because it looks great. I also get a lot of vibes of what Gainax would do in later series like Gurren Lagann and what Trigger would do in Kill La Kill. I often saw the beginning of that animation and crazy action style, and it was actually really cool to see like the origins of the styles for 2 shows I love so much. The character designs are also pretty great, and the show overall is very pleasing to the eyes. The characters are pretty entertaining. Naota is a pretty decent main character. He does a lot of reacting to the insanity that happens in his life, but usually he's kind of moody and tries to appear mature, which granted is what a kid would act like at his age, so I can give it that. But he does get better as the series progresses, though. Less moody and more crazy and growing up. But I just wish even then he stuck out at least a little bit more. Also, him going from moody to more mature reminded me a lot of Simone's transformation from Gurren Lagann. Again, mirroring what the studio would do later on. But it definitely seems like Gainax made that later transformation with Simone a lot better. Overall, Naota is fine. You could have been a bit more like Mamimi, who stuck out because of how odd and strange she was. Her voice actress was a bit monotone, but I think the contrast of her mild voice and her weirdness kind of paid off. She was interesting and pretty funny, especially how she, thought Conti was a god, and she's just watching, and I don't know, I thought she was interesting. Her relationship with Naota was intriguing, albeit strange, again, fitting the theme of the show, which is fucking weirdness. It did bring out some nice conversations between the two of them, and led to some quieter moments, though. Haruka, in my humble opinion, is the most entertaining character. She is just like the epitome of really weird, and it works. She is very expressive, mobile, talkative, and usually the most interesting parts of the show revolve around her. Now, one might assume that she might get a bit annoying after a bit, but that never really happened for me. Instead, she was just always funny and entertaining, and she was great. Also, Conti the Robot's really great too. He's kind of weird, but usually it seems like he's trying his best, and he's just kind of doing stuff on his own accord. He's like, oh yeah, I'm here too. And this leads to some nice comic relief, which is nice. I said nice twice. Awesome. Also, he's a robot with a TV for a head. Again, this show is weird. Amuro and Kitsurubame, who show up later, are also pretty fun. They have kind of a strange dynamic, and they're interesting. Also, eyebrows. The English voice acting is pretty alright. I wish some of them were a little more expressive, but for the most part, it's totally fine. I'd watch it in English. Well, I did, so yeah. Carrie Walgren fits Haruka. Barbara Goodson provides the voice of Naota. Stephanie Shea is mellow for Mamimi, and Conti doesn't speak. Sweet. Fooly Cooly is weird, as I've said. That's pretty much like the best way I can just sum up this show in one way. If someone was to ask me, oh, what do you think of Fooly Cooly? The first word that I would think of is weird. And it is weird, but it's fun. There are storytelling problems. Some of the characters could be a bit better, and it is short, which makes it so that things like character building and such are limited, but it does make up for that with great animation, good comedy, and just enough weird, fun goodness to keep an audience watching, or at least intrigued on what the hell is going to happen next, because it's practically impossible to guess, oh, this is going to happen next, or this is going to happen next. It's pretty unpredictable, which is good for the show, but also not good, because, again, storytelling problem, but oh well. Check it out and see for yourself if you haven't already, since it's like a cult classic anime now or something. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out my other videos. Also, make sure to check out my supporters, all that great stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.